So I made a video about how filling up a water cup with soda or other things at a fast food restaurant like a Subway or McDonald's or whatever is just morally incorrect. And everybody had their own opinions on this, so I wanted to hop on here to just give my experience. Now, I am no saint. I'm not going to sit around and pretend like I never filled up a water cup with soda. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, like 8 or 9 years old, I would literally go to these restaurants with one of my best friends at the time named Josh, and we would literally get a water cup and fill it up with lemonade. And one time, one of the employees saw us doing it, and we literally thought we were going to jail. Like, I was like, this is it. I gotta call my mom. I gotta get her to break me out. My life is practically over. But the employee at the fast food restaurant basically shrugged their shoulder and didn't care at all. And so in that video, I basically said, hey, it's not that big of a deal if you fill a water cup up with soda. I mean, like, who's gonna arrest you, right? Like, no cop's gonna arrest you for doing that. But it is morally incorrect. And once I bring out the morals, everybody starts to say something. I think like 9 times out of 10, you won't get caught doing this, but that 1 out of 10 time that you do get caught, it's just really awkward for everybody. And I've caught quite a few kids filling up their cups with water, and I've caught quite a few kids filling up their water cups with soda. And I actually used to have a customer that would come in like just about every day with their own cup and always ask me, can I fill this up with water? And they would take their bottle up to the soda machine, a bottle that they brought from outside of the store that they literally just brought in to fill up with soda. They would run the water for a few seconds, fill it up with Coca-Cola, and then walk out. After like 2 days, I caught on and I was like, hey, you are not allowed to do this. I apologize, but like the first time it was funny. Now you can't do this every day. Come on, guys. I mean, he wouldn't even like buy anything. He literally just show up to the store to fill it up with soda and walk out. I mean, like, what the heck is going on? But if it's like a little kid and they're like, I want a water cup, I'm not gonna like watch them like a hawk to make sure that they get water in it. But you guys let me know. What do you think? Have you ever filled up a water cup with soda? I feel like this is one of the biggest moral dilemmas of the century. Don't forget to subscribe and have a beautiful day. Peace. The other day, I posted a video to TikTok that ended up going super viral, and essentially the premise of the video was you literally make the sandwich at Subway. Now, somebody sent me a TikTok where a kid actually was throwing a volleyball against the wall and said something along the lines of like, nobody truly likes Subway. And to that, I say, well, you literally do just make the sandwich. I mean, you could argue that you don't like the ingredients that Subway uses, but a lot of it's pretty natural and fresh. I mean, their slogan for the longest time was eat fresh, but they also have been in a few scandals, so I could understand why you wouldn't like Subway. But if it's the fact that you just don't like Subway as a sandwich shop, well, you literally make the sandwich. And now this reminds me of a time where somebody came to me and told me that they didn't like their sandwich. I was basically working a shift at the old Subway and somebody ordered a sandwich for there. And after they finished the entire foot-long sandwich, they basically came up to the counter to talk to me. And they told me that they didn't like the sandwich. They said something along the lines of like, the sandwich tasted weird to me. Like, I don't know. I didn't like the combination of mayo and whatever the combination on the sandwich was. I don't remember. It was so long ago. And to that, I just responded like, well, next time, maybe you shouldn't get those toppings. If you didn't like the sandwich, it's probably because of the stuff that you put onto the sandwich. Unless you like let us build your own sandwich, then I understand. And that's why I don't like when people ask me for me to make them my own creation, because it's like the biggest gamble in the world. Who knows what your taste buds are actually like, and if they even relate to mine at all. But yeah, I was kind of confused by that moment because like you literally do make the sandwich yourself. I don't know how you could be complaining to me if you picked everything that went onto the sandwich. And I understand if you're just voicing your frustrations out, but the lady was like expecting me to give her a full refund after she ate the entire sandwich. So the moral of the story is you literally pick what goes on the sandwich. So if you're calling Subway trash, that might be on you. Or you just might not like sandwiches or Subway in general, and that's okay too. Subscribe for a free cookie. Peace. You know, I see Squid Game blowing up all over the internet, so I decided I was going to make my own version of Squid Game. But this is not going to be just any Squid Game. This is Squid Game at Subway. The rules are pretty simple. It's just literally me versus my coworker. It's as if all other 454 players don't even exist, and it's literally just me and my coworker, Brian. And the only game that we're playing is going to be called Cut the Shape. It's like that Dalgona game with the candy. You know, the one that's going viral like everywhere where people use a needle. But instead of using a needle and some random piece of candy, we're going to be using a piece of Subway bread and a knife. And there's going to be 2 parts to this. The first part is going to be cutting a circle out of the piece of bread, and the second part is going to be cutting a star out of the piece of bread. Now, my cutting skills at Subway, I'm not going to say they're bad, I'm not going to say they're good, but you know, I'd say I'm a little bit above average. Definitely no pro, but you know, I'm not bad. And Brian, well, he started working 3 months ago, but he's picked up pretty quickly, so he's pretty good too. So we set a timer for about 1 minute to start the clock, and the first shape that we were going to cut out is a circle. And by the way, I didn't mention this, but whoever wins these 2 challenges is going to win our tips for the night. You don't want to miss that ending. But yeah, basically the clock started, and I could not figure out for the life of me how to make a circle out of Subway bread. It was actually a lot harder than you think. If you ever want to try this out on your own, just like grab a piece of bread that's like straight out of the oven and try to cut a shape into it. It's a lot harder than it seems, let me tell you. But Bryant was actually pretty good at it. Like, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by how good he was at cutting shapes into bread, especially the circle. I mean, like, I was confused. How did he obtain this knowledge of cutting shapes into bread? I don't know. But yeah, it's safe to say the first game I lost. Very unfortunate indeed, but it was still a ton of fun. I mean, a minute is kind of pressure, and you know, pressure is bad bad for me. And then the second game we moved on to was doing the same exact thing, but with the star shape. Now the star, this was a real big challenge. I just want to preface by saying I failed horribly at doing the star, and Bryant says that he failed horribly as well. So I didn't really know what to do here with these star shapes. So since Bryant won the first game by a mile, I decided that he was the winner of today's Subway Squid Games. And you know, he won our tips for the night, which was a whopping 96 cents. W in the comment for Bryant. Like the video. If this video reaches 25,000 likes, I'll do a part 2. I definitely wasn't the smartest kid in the world, and whenever I talked to my mom about how I was as a child, it would just literally bring back so many memories for her. Some memories in horror, but some good too. And the biggest memory that always takes me back so much is the fact that there was a day that I could have died. I have no recollection of this moment, but my mom remembers it pretty vividly, and I don't blame her, you know? I was about like 5 years old at the time, so I was in like kindergarten, and I was at a pool party with a couple of friends, and a young Milad loved to just run around and jump around and have fun with his friends. And apparently I was holding a popsicle, and while running around, I accidentally slipped into the pool. And well, when you jump into a pool, you usually float, but for some reason as a kid, I started to sink. I don't know if that means I was a fat little boy or not, but you know. Regardless, I was so young, and I had this moment in my life where if nobody had seen me and nobody understood what was happening, I could have legitimately died. And so I was underwater for probably a good 20-25 seconds before somebody came in and tried to rescue me. And I'm sure that my little puny brain had no idea what was going on. I was probably like, oh, this is wet. Why am I wet right now? But I literally had to have somebody jump in and completely rescue me. And thank goodness I didn't have any CPR. Oh my god, imagine. But at like 5 years old, I essentially had my life flash before my eyes. And to this day, this is one of those core memories that tells me every single moment that I just need to live life to the fullest. Because tomorrow isn't promised, you know? And what's weird is that without a clean earth, we could all literally die tomorrow. There might be a lot of people that don't think that's true, but science begs to differ. And one of the main reasons for me telling you guys this story is because there's actually this entire Team C's operation going on right now that's trying to raise $30 million in order to clean our ocean. And it's being held by no other than the boy, Mr. Beast, aka Jimmy. They planted 20 million trees last year, and now they want to take 30 million pounds of garbage out of the oceans, which is incredible. When Jimmy asked me to be a part of this, I was like, yo, this is something that the YouTube community could do that can actually change the world. And so this video is essentially a fundraiser for Team C's. If you even have just $1 to donate, that's 1 pound of garbage out of the ocean. And hey, a young Milad would love you for doing it. So if you're a young kid, be careful around water, especially if your parents are telling you to stay back. And if you're a parent, please consider donating Team Tree so that your youngin can enjoy the ocean one day when they grow up. People joke around and say stuff like, oh, my house is haunted, or like, there's a ghost that lives in my closet, but I legitimately think that my Subway store is haunted. There's just too many weird paranormal occurrences that happen like every single day at the store that I've just concluded on my own that ghosts literally live in the back of my Subway. And by the way, in this video, we're making something called fairy bread. It's basically a recipe from Australia and New Zealand that's just bread, butter, and sprinkles. It looks really good, and it tastes, well, you'll see my reaction at the end as to how it tastes. But when I first started working at this new Subway, and by the way, it's only this Subway that I think is haunted. I mean, the other one could have been too, but that's another story for another time. Literally from day one working at this Subway, I started to notice some weird things that would happen, usually around nighttime. I think the first occurrence I've ever had of a paranormal activity was one night that I was just chilling at the Subway and it was completely dead, and then all of a sudden, a box of chips fell down from the shelf in the back, and then another one did. Now, this shelf is completely flat too. Like, I don't even know how a box of chips would ever fall down from this place unless somebody pushed it. And I'm not saying that that alone is evidence for a ghost, but you know, it's kind of compelling. And there's always weird noises coming from the back there too. I've never heard like a voice. Oh my god, if I heard like a baby voice coming from the back, we're moving to Mexico. We're literally gonna burn down the Subway and just move out of that place, because then it's like really haunted. But I've heard a ton of weird noises from the back, and I thought it was just me until one day I brought it up to one of my coworkers, and she literally said the same exact thing. She said something along the lines of like, oh, Milad, I sense a presence in the Subway. And I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? I was pretty confused when that happened, but you know, she made sense. Every time we go to the back of the store, it's a little colder. And don't even get me started about the basement of the Subway. And you know, if you look at the history of our location, I don't know, it kind of makes sense, right? There's been some strange things happening around that Subway since day one, before it was even a Subway. And I think the scariest thing that's ever happened to me while working was a bunch of knives that dropped onto the floor, literally out of nowhere, out of the bin, and I was like, well, at least it didn't land on me, right? But it literally dropped from like this height where if somebody was standing under it, I don't know, it could have done some serious damage. I'm just thankful that I wasn't standing under it that night. But whether you think it's just coincidence or if it's actually haunted, all I know is that it's still the best Subway to get a Subway sandwich at. And I've heard that if you subscribe to the channel and like this video right now, maybe the ghost won't hurt me. Okay, that might just be a myth, but like 75% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if that button's red, please just click it. And overall, by the way, the fairy bread was not bad. I can see it as a cool Australian treat. Has anyone ever asked to speak with the owner? Every single day we have new people coming in and out of the Subway shop. By the way, I work at Subway. I don't make burritos. This is a fun little burrito video for today. And I always put customers into 3 different buckets. The first bucket is the great customer that just comes in, orders their sandwich, and, you know, makes some conversation, does well. I call the next ones the food getters. It's people that want to come straight in and out of the store, and hey, who could blame them? I mean, I think I'm probably a food getter. Literally just go in, tell them the order, get your food, maybe make some slight conversation, and then walk straight out of the store and go devour that sandwich in your car or at home, specifically in front of a YouTube video, maybe a Milad Mirg video, who knows. And then the third category of customer, I would call them the entitled customer. Now, there's not many entitled customers, don't get it wrong. In reality, this is probably the smallest group of customers that exist. But when you have somebody extremely entitled, oh boy, does it hurt. There's a couple of things that an entitled customer will always tell me, such as your prices got way too high, which is a fair criticism. You know, I think that Subway prices have gone up a lot, and so have literally every other price in food, but who knows? Maybe it's just Subway, I don't know. But I don't blame you for that question. And usually they'll proceed and tell me something along the lines of like, oh, you should tell the owner to lower the prices, like who's running this place? And then I'm just standing there like, oh man, that person that she's talking about is me. And well, my parents. But another thing that happens a lot is sometimes a customer doesn't want to pay as much for their sandwich as the cost is. If they're like $1 or $2 short, I'm completely fine with it. Like I'll literally cover it on the spot. There are people that just literally walk out of the store. Like I'll ring them up and I'll be like, okay, your foot-long spicy Italian is $8.25. And they'll be like, $8.25? They'll say something like, is there a manager here that I can speak with or anything? And I'll usually be like, I'm the manager. And they like won't believe me. It's the craziest thing. And in a few rare cases, when I say that, they say, can I get the contact of the owner? And I'm just standing there like, I'm about to end this whole man's career. And I tell them that I am the owner. And then at that point, I just think that they think it's so ridiculous that they just walk out and never end up paying for the sandwich. But hey, what can I do, right? The price is literally on the board in front of you when you're ordering. And there is this sub-niche of people that come into the store and randomly ask for the owner of the store's number. I low-key call these the Ponzi scheme people. They're either with like some company trying to convert your business, or with somebody trying to buy the land, or just I don't even know what. And they'll be like, hey, who owns this place? Like they'll try to sneak it into conversation. And I'll be like, well, actually, like my family. And they'll just look at me like, what? Like they were expecting me to give them my parents' phone number or something. I don't even know. Please keep your Ponzi schemes to yourself. But hey, that's just the life of a Subway worker.
Hamburger, 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 hamburger.
Milad, have you ever had a customer run away with a sandwich? You know, oddly enough at Subway, I'd say there aren't many dine and dashers. And if you don't know what a dine and dash is, it's basically you eat the food and then you run out before you get the check. But I have had times where people have stolen sandwiches, either by mistake or on purpose. I don't know. To this day, I still don't know whether it was on purpose or not. And my go-to story whenever a question like this comes up is one day I had a DoorDash order of like 5 sandwiches that I prepared. And because I had such a long line going at the time, I had to put the order right next to the register. This means that whatever customer was checking out at the time was literally within arm's reach of the 5 sandwiches in the bag. And so I had like 3 customers online, and some girl just got like a 6-inch Italian sub. And when I went to ring it up, I like kind of rushed through it. I had to get to the next 2 or 3 customers online. And so I basically just asked her, do you want your receipt? And she said no. And so I walked off to help the next customer. And then all of a sudden, the DoorDash person came into the Subway and was basically like, yo, you got my sandwiches? And I was like, yeah, I got your sandwiches. And so I went to the back and realized that the sandwiches had gone missing. So I literally had customers online, a DoorDash driver that was standing there waiting for 5 sandwiches to be made, and literally no clue clue with what happened to these 5 sandwiches I already prepared. That might have been one of the most stressful times that I've ever had at Subway. And then another case is that people come in and always steal chips for some reason. It's either chips or soda. Like, those are the 2 go-tos. And my mom warned me about a lady that she saw that stuffed a bunch of drinks into her bag as she was walking out of the store. I knew exactly who this customer was because she used to come in all the time, and then she disappeared for quite a bit and then started coming back again. And well, this woman, I caught her in the act. I literally pretended to walk to the back when the store was empty, and on her way out, she opened the fridge, and then I walked straight back to the front and saw her taking a drink out. And I think she seemed shocked or something, but in the end, she ended up walking towards the counter to pay for the drink, and she was like, "Oh, I was gonna pay for this." And I was like, sure you were, lady. Things that happen like that just like low-key boil my blood. I mean, like, it's a drink. Just pay for it, or just get water from outside, or just ask for a water cup for free. Heck, just fill up a water cup with soda. I don't care. But when you steal from a store, especially if it's like a franchise that a family owns, that's a new level of low. And there are plenty more stories where somebody accidentally takes a sandwich that was just sitting next to the register or another customer's sandwich. So subscribe to hear those stories another day. I imagine Milad smiling, cleaning up that mess. Now, in a recent short, I told a story about how a child was flinging their sandwich back and forth, causing a mess in the store, and I didn't really mind at the time because, like, what are you gonna do to the child? It's literally a child. Any amount of discipline that you give to any child is just gonna result in them just drooling out of their mouth, so, like, come on. If you get mad at babies, I hate you. Anyways, there have been a fair number of times where customers leave a mess in the store, and as much as I want to say something to the customer, I am indeed just a Subway employee, and honestly, I don't blame them for leaving a mess behind in a Subway. I mean, what are you gonna do? But I think I am still allowed to say that it is incredibly annoying when a customer leaves a mess in the Subway, especially when we offered like dine-in options, whether it be people asking for like 30 napkins and then using 2 of them, or somebody leaving the remains of their sandwich onto the table. There's always something. I don't really mind if you don't push in your chair. I mean, like, I'll just do that. But if you make a pile of ketchup on the table and leave it for me to clean up, you know, I don't think there's something that could aggravate me ever as much as a pile of ketchup on a table. There's something about a pile of ketchup that is so infuriating. I mean, like, who is getting ketchup at Subway anyway? Like, if you put ketchup on your sandwich, what are we doing? But anyways, that's not the point. I once had a group of hooligan high school students. Okay, they definitely weren't hooligans, but they were like literally making a competition out of their sandwiches to see who could eat it the fastest. And I do love me an eating contest, but one of the kids decided that it was a genius idea to just smash the sandwich into his face and try to devour it as quickly as possible, when in reality, he's just flinging pieces of sandwiches everywhere during their imaginatory Subway eating contest. And you know who gets left to clean up that poor mess? Me, Milad. 1 like on this video and 1 subscription equals 1 prayer for Milad, so please help me. Milk, have you ever dialed 911? So there was a time when I was a kid where I called 911 for ice cream, and as ridiculous as this may sound, please just let me have this minute to explain myself. I promise the reason is very valid. But anyways, there was a day where I was just chilling on the couch with my older brother, and if you have an older brother, you definitely know that older brothers love to mess with you. I was the youngest growing up, so like, I was just always the one getting picked on, unfortunately. But you know, the youngest are the favorite, what can I say? But yeah, I must have been like 6 or 7 years old into this crazy world, and me and my brother were literally just sitting there watching ESPN with me having no idea what's going on, and he hands me the house phone, and he wasn't even that much older than me. He must be like 9 or 10 at the time, and he goes, "Milad, call 911 and we'll get ice cream." And my little child brain processed this as, you know, I've heard the word 911 before, and I do want ice cream right now, so the only logical outcome that can happen by me dialing 911 in this phone is to get free ice cream. And so my brother had completely convinced me, and I dialed those numbers into the phone, and at that moment I messed up. Now, something that I learned that day, back in the day, if you even dialed 911 from a house phone and like actually rang the number, the police would just always show up at your house to make sure that everything's okay. And so I did just that, and well, surprise or not, a police officer showed up at our house, and my mom opened the door and she's like, "What is going on?" And obviously, like, the police officer's gonna take everything very seriously, so like, they're all just completely confused as to what's happening, and then I'm running over to the door like, "Free ice cream!" And well, I think at that moment the officer kind of knew what was happening, and so basically they left. My mom was mad at me, my brother was disappointed that there was no ice cream, and I was also disappointed that there was no ice cream. But if you subscribe, I'll give you a free cookie. Milad, how was meeting Mr. Beast in real life? So I met Mr. Beast 3 times in my life, and I thought that today is the perfect day to talk about my experiences meeting him, especially because he literally has a #1 video on the platform, and perhaps the #1 video to ever exist on YouTube with Squid Game. And some of you may be saying, Milad, you're just clout chasing at this point. That is not my intention, and every single dollar that is made from this video's AdSense is going to go straight to Mr. Beast's charity. Shout out to Beast Philanthropy, I love those people. But yes, I've had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Beast 3 different times. The first time was about like 5 or 6 months months ago where we gave 50,000 cookies away to charity. I brought 2 of my friends, RJ and Joe, along with me, and we cooked cookies with Mr. Beast charity for like 3 days straight, and we were able to crank 50,000 cookies to give to the local community. And that had to be one of the most fun times I've ever had in my entire life. And the night before we actually did the distribution, Jimmy came to the warehouse and actually invited us all over to come hang out at his house. Something I never would have in a million years expected, but it just goes to show how much of a bro this man is. Like, when you meet a YouTuber, you never really know what to expect. But when I met Mr. Beast, he was just extremely down to earth. Like, he was just a normal person, you know, with his passion for YouTube and his passion of doing great things for the world. So my first immediate impression when I met Mr. Beast was, wow, this is just like a normal guy that's insanely good at YouTube and insanely good at entertaining people and leaving a positive impact on the world. And I'm sorry, you guys are gonna be like, he's gassing him up, but like, this was just shocking to me. I couldn't believe that I could meet somebody that's so dedicated to his craft that at the end of the day is just like a normal human being like me and you. It's insanely inspiring, and the fact that he invited us without even knowing us to his house to play games and hang out for a couple hours that just spoke volume. And that was my first impression of meeting Mr. Beast, and I actually got the chance to meet Carl Jacobs, Chandler, and Chris eventually too, and Nolan, I love you. And they're all like great people. Like, I think there's this misconception that YouTubers are always on, or like YouTubers are just money hungry people that like do things for clout, but this is just so not true. These were all just regular dudes, and they were some of the nicest people I think I've met. So it's this really cool thing when the people that are succeeding and at the top of this YouTube stuff and even this internet stuff are actually incredibly nice and generous people. Like, it just kind of goes to show that the nicer you are and the more that you do for others, the more successful you can become and the more fulfilled you become with everything. And so that first impression of me and Jimmy was awesome. We gave away 50,000 cookies, and then I got to meet him again in LA a couple months later, and again when we gave 10,000 turkeys to charity a few weeks ago. Well, he gave $10,000 to charity. I was just there to help out as a volunteer. And every time in the middle of being busy with like 10,000 different things, he took a second to come over and have a couple minutes of conversation with me, which I mean is just pretty wholesome and insane. So Jimmy, if you're watching this, I'm sorry for using your name for a title and thumbnail. You're the GOAT, brother, and all this money is going to go to Beast Philanthropy charity. So share this video with your grandma so the charity even gets more AdSense. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, it helps me out so much if you just click that red subscribe button, and it'll make me such a happy camper. Have a beautiful day, guys, and peace. As a Subway worker, I'm obviously inclined to just put whatever you want onto your sandwich. But, you know, there are times where it goes too far. I mean, I think I'm a pretty lenient guy. I literally put cookies onto sandwiches for people. But the other day, I was making myself a sandwich, and the question arose in my mind, when is it too much ingredient on a sandwich? Or any of these places that you literally pick your ingredients, when are you asking for too much? Because I noticed that places like Chipotle, Subway, and a lot of other new fast food places that you literally get to pick your ingredients, and you can just keep saying more and more and more. And usually the worker complies. And I mean, I comply every time. Like, if somebody wants a fistful of black olives, I always put it on. But with these types of places, when is enough enough? For example, I had somebody come in and literally ask me to put like half of the tub of lettuce onto their sandwich. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, like, I mean, it's lettuce, but I feel like I should be charging extra for this. And I hate charging extra for stuff. Like, I'm the first person to say that none of these places should be charging extra for cheese or guac, but they all do. But if you're getting like half a bag of lettuce, what do I do in that scenario? Like, I can't tell the customer no, because like that goes against my very essence as a Subway worker. But I also worry that I'm wasting the entire supply on this one person and they don't even realize. It's quite the dilemma. And don't even get me started on the 8 black olive rule. Which reminds me, I feel like the person that you're ordering a sandwich or a burrito or whatever you're getting from is going to determine exactly how it is. Like, if you're getting me, I'm totally going to load up your sandwich with whatever you want. But I've had experiences where I've walked into Subways before and the person literally doesn't put anything on the sandwich. Tell me what you think. How much is too much on a sandwich or burrito or whatever these places are? I haven't talked to Subway in months and they call me out of the blue to come to their cookie shop all the way in New York City. So in order to open this cookie shop, we had to do a few things.
It took a little bit to get here, but with the work of our whole team, we were able to open a shop that celebrates all of Subway's cookies, and we're baking 17,000 cookies to give away today. And any donations go to Make-A-Wish of Metro New York.
Well said. I couldn't have said it any better than that. Yep. All right, in 5 minutes, we're opening those doors, and the lines are already starting to form. And we're gonna let people inside and give them a ton of free cookies. Doors are opening now. Doors are opening. I'm just here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here so I don't get fired.
Make him do some work.
Get to work. Get to work.
What can I do?
This is not a day off.
I'm pointing.
Okay.
I got a job. We're gonna tell people to take photos and point to the jar. We're also accepting donations and you can take your photos.
Great job, Milad. Oh my god, I love this dog. Oh my god, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
After working in the shop for a while, I was invited to the back to see how the cookies were made. I'm with Brad now, and we're gonna show you guys how the cookies actually get made. So this is where all the cookies are being baked. This is where that, whoa.
Oh, it smells so good in here.
There's so many cookies in here, and it's insane how many cookies were made in just a day.
We have 2 stacked ovens, they're convection, 5 pans in each one of 24, 240 cookies every 15 minutes. Roughly pushing it close to 1,000 per hour.
1,000 cookies per hour. We need more people to get some free cookies. So we came out here with the sign. We're trying to get people to get free cookies. Free! Free! Free!
Free cookies.
You guys here at the Cookie Way, okay? I got the specialty package that you said to get.
Can we do a cookie review?
I'll tell you what, let me go.
That's a good. Not bad, right?
It's good, okay? It's crunchy but soft.
Exactly.
Can you give me a review out of 10? What do you say?
Guys, at least a 9.6.
Oh, good. That's a
Okay,
good
a
rating.
9.6 right here.
Do you guys want more? I get you guys more too.
Yeah, definitely. We'll take it.
I'll bring 3
Okay.
more packs, all right? One for all 3 of you.
Thank you.
All right, so we gotta get 4 packs for this kind gentleman over there.
Yeah, right here. I
Waters,
love
all right?
cookies.
Thank you. 6 waters. All right, we'll be right back.
Cookies.
Very good. And that is how Subway invited me to help them open a cookie shop. Every now and then, a homeless person comes into our store, and it could go one of 2 ways. Sometimes a homeless person is extremely nice, and they just might want a free bite. But other times, there have been cases where a homeless person would come in and start to disrupt, maybe talk to customers or start making very loud noises. And even in one case, I had a homeless person in the bathroom for like over an hour. But these are 2 very, very different scenarios that each need to be dealt with properly. I think in the first scenario, if you're a business owner, much like my family, and you have a homeless person come into the store, I really think that you should give them free food. There's always going to be this side of the argument that's like, well, if you give them free food, they're just always going to come back and they're just going to expect free food every single time. But in our experience, that hasn't really happened. Sure, it's happened like 1 or 2 times, but the wide majority of the time, we'll never see the person again, and we were able to help them in such a small way to us, but in such a big way to them. So it baffles me when people say not to help the homeless. I mean, I know it can look like your efforts are going completely to waste, but in reality, you're probably doing such a huge service to whoever that person is just by something so small to you. So for you to think I'm not going to take $1 out, or I'm not going to, give this person that needs help coming into my store help, it's something so small but could go so far for you. But now the second scenario, okay, now this is a completely different scenario. To me, this has literally only ever happened once in my entire Subway career. And I had somebody who was most likely homeless come into our old Subway and start to ask the customers online for money. After the first time he did it, I was like, yo, just like hold on there, sit there, I'll take care of you after I help these customers. Just trying to be like as nice as possible, right? But every single time a customer would come in, he would literally get up and start to just go up to the customer and say, sir, can I have some money? I felt bad, so I'm pretty sure I gave him like $1 or 2 or something. But after like the 3rd customer, I had enough and I was like, sir, I'm really sorry, but I have to ask you to leave. You can come back when we're not busy, but I told you once not to solicit people for money. And I mean, he took it like a champ and left, but he came back. And well, he actually apologized, and I'm pretty sure he got himself like a couple cookies or something. Like the video, comment your wholesome story, and peace. In my parents' 22 years of owning and operating Subway stores, they have never failed a health inspection, but all of this changed about a week ago. It was just another ordinary day at Subway. I had gotten to work about 10 minutes early before the lunch rush, and I could already tell that this was going to be a busy day, but when I walked into the store, I was quickly greeted by somebody that said, hey, I'm the health inspector. And I thought to myself, okay, piece of cake. I mean, it's kind of weird that you came at lunch rush. It's a little busy, but come to the back and let's take care of everything. So in most cases, what a health inspector does is they literally just walk around the store and start doing whatever tests that they need to do. And honestly, we just give them free reign to go ahead and check anything, because once again, we have never failed a health inspection. This was like business as usual. But as I was helping customers with my coworker, it seemed like this health inspector had something out to get us. And you guys are like, no, Milad, you're crazy. The health inspector was clearly not out to get you. They're just doing their job like they're supposed to. But wait until I tell you how this all went down. So we had a line of about 3 customers that we were helping to make sandwiches. And as me and my coworker were making these sandwiches, this health inspector comes directly up to us and was like, I need you to come with me for a minute. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of helping customers right now, and it's literally the busiest time that we have at Subway. And this person was just not taking no for an answer. So I was like, okay, let's go. But then as more customers walked in and I was feeling the pressure, I was like, okay, you have to give me a few minutes. I have to go help my customers. So while I was helping a line of customers, this health inspector went around and started looking at our chips. And we had one type of chip that expired the previous day. Like, it literally expired the day before this entire thing happened. happen. And we've had this happen before, and obviously we're always going to check our dates and make sure that we're not giving anything expired to the customers. And if we are, we would just remove it literally immediately. But this health inspector started to take the bags of chips in front of all of our customers and literally start tossing them onto the counter. In my mind, I was thinking, what is going on right now? Like, is this allowed? But I didn't want to say anything because I knew that would just make this person upset. So I let it go, you know. I just kind of kept making my sandwiches and pretending like nothing happened. Was apologizing to the customers. It wasn't a big deal. But then after we get done with the lunch rush, the health inspector comes up to me and shows me a few things. Basically, the two things that were wrong with our store was, one, our sanitizer wasn't like a certain pH level or whatever's used to measure how acidic a sanitizer is. I don't know the exact thing, but I was kind of dumbfounded by this because I use a sanitizer every day and I knew for a fact that it didn't fail. And so I went to the back with the health inspector and we literally poured a bucket of sanitizer in and tested it right on the spot, and it passed like with flying colors. There was literally nothing wrong with it. And I think that this kind of upset the person because then they go and they say there's no soap or any paper towels in the bathroom, so I'm gonna have to fail your store. I asked, how is that fair? I could just go replace the soap right now. And I actually went to do that and they said, nope, how am I supposed to trust you? And I'm like, I'm just literally gonna change it right in front of you. Like, it's not a big deal. And then I walk into the bathroom and there's a roll of paper towels right there. And I said, I thought there was no paper towels. And they were like, oh, well, the paper towels can't be sitting out. They have to be inside of the paper towel machine. And I go, clearly my coworker was gonna do it, but it's literally a lunch rush and he probably got interrupted by a customer. And this person was just not having it. So at the end of the day, I said, so we're failing because we didn't have soap in the machine in the bathroom? And they said, yes, this is where employees are required to wash their hands. And then I walk out of the bathroom to the literal hand wash section right behind our counter where we use every single time to wash our hands for a sandwich. And this person was just not having it. So I just said, okay, just send us the report and we'll take care of it. I mean, these are like the easiest fixes in the world. I'm literally going to fix it right now. And then later on, we got the report and this person wrote down the sanitizer failed and there was no paper towels in the bathroom. I didn't even know what to do at this point. So my mom contacted her person at Subway. It's like a regional manager, and told him the entire situation. And Subway was actually very forgiving. They were like, I can't believe that this has happened. They don't even do the inspections themselves. They like outsource it to a third-party company. And this person knew that we've never failed a health inspection before. So this was one of those moments where we're just kind of like, what is going on? Needless to say, we fixed all the problems in the store and it's completely fine like it's always been. I mean, we were told by Subway themselves that we have one of the cleanest stores. So it was just kind of a crazy situation. And you know what would really help me alleviate from that crazy situation? If you like this video and subscribe. Have a beautiful day and peace! Time and time again, you guys surprise me with new Subway lore, and today's lore is the biggest Subway Easter egg that you may ever see. Now, back in the day, before I was even ever born, there was this way of cutting the Subway sandwich that quite literally transcended the sub. They call this a V-cut. Now, what a V-cut is literally cutting a V into the top of the sandwich, taking out that top, and then stuffing your sub full of the ingredients, and then putting that top back onto the sandwich. Now, I had so many questions when I first started making this sandwich. My immediate question was, what if I want the sandwich toasted? Like, I felt like if I just wanted to get the sub toasted, this throws off the entire method that Subway implemented for like their first 50 years of existing. By the way, this was the way that Subway used to cut their sandwich every single time before the traditional cut. And so I decided I'm going to throw the sandwich into the toaster. And you know, I wasn't the smartest person because it literally did nothing. It just toasted the bread. So it completely worked. But then I thought to myself, so like, what if I throw sauce onto it? Isn't it going to get messy? Like, how is this going to sustain itself as an actual sandwich? And how am I going to be able to eat this thing? So I did exactly that. I threw some sauce, I threw a ton of veggies into the sub, and surprisingly, it did nothing. It was literally just another sandwich, but with a cool cut. I like it cut, G. So my question now is, why did Subway get rid of this cut? And I think it's for one of two reasons. Number one, I think it's extremely difficult to do this. If a line's out the door and you're trying to do a V-cut on every single Subway sandwich, the customer's literally going to stand there and be like, what is this person doing? Just cut the bread. And I think the second reason is that it gets a little sloppy to eat a sandwich this way. When I tried to eat this sub, you know, I thought it was all fine and dandy in the beginning until the ingredients actually started to like soak over into the bread, and it was just a complete mess. And to be honest, it didn't really change the way that the sub tasted like at all, but it was pretty cool to eat. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I discovered something special, like a literal Subway Easter egg. The V-cut transcends time, and I'm really happy that a subscriber told me to do the V-cut. So leave below in the comments what Subway Easter egg or what Subway trick I should try next, and please like this video and subscribe. I love you forever, and take care. Peace. please don't show Subway this video. The other day I had a video go number 5 trending on YouTube, and it was about how Subway have been making their sandwiches wrong this whole time. Now the reason that I say please don't show Subway this video is because, well, this video might just get me fired. Okay, not really, but this is something that I can't believe that I've never thought of until this moment. So hear me out. We all know how Subway makes their sandwiches with just slicing the bread directly in between the loaves, but traditionally at home we slice the loaf the other way. I mean, just think about how weird it would be to take an entire loaf of bread and just cut it through the center of the side and use the loaf to make a sandwich. Now, if Subway made their sandwiches as if they were toast, you know, like cut from the loaf toast, a foot long could make something like 6 sandwiches. And this isn't an exaggeration. These might be like finger sandwiches, I will admit. They're pretty miniature, but nonetheless, it's still a sandwich. And when I discussed this on the short, I quickly got greeted by a rude awakening. Subway makes the sandwiches that they do because it's a sub, as if it's like a submarine. And you know, I'm just not buying it. I am starting conspiracy against Subway. They have normalized to eat an entire loaf of bread, even though it's delicious, where we could just be treating the sandwiches as toast. I also had my coworkers try it, and they said it was really good. But once again, please don't show Subway this video. And Subway, if you're watching, please don't fire me. Oh, also, subscribe to become a lad. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a fast food place that has a glass, kind of like Subway or Chipotle, where they kind of make all the food right in front of you. But one of the biggest things about these types of places that the employees ask is please don't touch the glass. And before I tell you why, please be sure to subscribe. Something like 84% of you watching this video aren't subscribed, so if you hit that button, it really helps me out. So a lot of people will go to a fast food restaurant and tend to point at the items that they want, which I don't blame them at all. I mean, I used to do this as a kid all the time, until one day I got yelled at by a Chipotle employee because I was touching the glass. And you know, to this day, I still kind of hold resentment against that Chipotle employee, but now I understand completely why they didn't want me touching the glass. Cleaning that glass at Subway, and I'm sure at Chipotle and any other place like this, is such a pain in the butt. At least at Subway, we could kind of take the glass down and clean it that way, but we literally have to empty the entire front just to clean the glass. And if there are smudges on it, well, it makes the restaurant look kind of dirty for some reason. So one day, I had a customer come in that started pointing and was rubbing his hands all over the glass. And you know, I said something along the lines of like, hey, could you please not touch the glass? I'm sorry. I just really don't want to clean it. I was trying to be super nice. The dude takes one look at me and then one look back down at the sandwich and starts pointing and putting his fingers back on the glass. And one of my coworkers saw this and they were like, oh no, you're not about to do this because I just spent 10 minutes cleaning that glass and I'm not about to spend 10 minutes more. So my employee literally goes to the customer, hey, he just nicely asked you not to touch the glass, so please just don't touch it. And he looks at both of us and goes, why should I care whether or not I touch the glass? I'm just trying to get a sandwich and I want to make it easier. And so I'm like, oh man, something's about to go down. Get my popcorn out and start listening. And you know, the customer's always right. You should never fight back with customers, like never under any circumstances. But my coworker, well, she wasn't about to let a customer be rude to her. And she said something along the lines of like, did your mama not raise you right? If somebody is asking you very kindly not to do something and you're in their home, I mean, Subway's not my home, but like, I guess it works. You should respect that person. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, yes, go off. You're 100% right, but I can't say that myself because I'm afraid. And then the guy was like, whatever, man. Like, he just kept putting his hands back on the glass. And at this point, I just wanted to make the sandwich to get him out of there so I could clean the glass again. My coworker was having none of it. She got so mad that she had to go to the back, and I still had to help the customer while he was like rubbing his hands all over the glass. There were smudges everywhere. So I want to hear your opinion in the comments. Were we in the wrong for calling the guy out for putting his hands on the glass? Subscribe for a free cookie and have a beautiful day. Peace. It's 2022 and I can't believe spitting in people's food is still a thing. But before we discuss this horrible phenomenon, 77% of you guys are not subscribed that watch these videos. So if you are part of that 77%, please subscribe. It would really make my day. Since I was a kid, it was always pretty shocking to me that in a lot of Western media, restaurants are portrayed to spit in people's food a lot. So much so that I was always afraid of going to restaurants or diners as a kid for this exact reason. And as I grew older and older, I made sure that every single time I go to a restaurant or any food place, I would be extraordinarily nice to the person that is either handling my food or handling my order, because my mind was just programmed in this way from watching TV and movies where I'm just so afraid if somebody spits in my food, and I'm kind of a germaphobe myself, so it's just like a phobia for me. And you know, when I turned like 15 or 16, I never really even thought of this twice, but one day when I was 19 years old, I was having a full-blown conversation with one of my friends about working in food, and he told me that at the restaurant he worked in, there were chefs that regularly spit in people's food. And mind you, this is a restaurant that I went to dozens of times. In that moment, I was literally shocked. I bet my face like turned blue when he said that. If you're coming to Subway, obviously you're never getting spit in your sandwich. Like, that's why I really like the places where they make the food right in front of you, because you know exactly what's going on. But once he told me this, I literally never wanted to go to a restaurant again. And thank goodness, after like 15 minutes of messing with me, he told me that he was lying and it was just trying to literally get a reaction out of me, which he did. He very much succeeded. But this got me curious, and I looked into the crime implications of somebody spitting on food. And did you know that people have literally gone to jail for spitting on food? This is the justice that I am looking for. Imagine going into a jail and being like, what'd you get in for? And somebody's like, oh, I killed someone. And the other person's like, I sold illegal substances. And you're just sitting there like, I spit on people's food. And everyone in the jail just gasps, because that is literally the biggest crime of them all. But seriously, if you're a person that goes and works at a restaurant and spits in people's food, even if they are extremely rude to you, you do not belong in this society. Somebody's giving you the utmost trust with one of the most beloved things on earth, food, and you're just taking that trust and destroying it. So I really hope that I didn't make anybody fearful of going to restaurants, and if I did, I'm sorry. Has a customer ever scammed you? It was another fine afternoon at the Subway. The birds were chirping outside. It was springtime, and everything just seemed perfect until this woman walked in. Now, mind you, on the average day, we don't really have much foot traffic, but on this particular day, we were extremely busy. And when you're busy, sometimes you mess up an order every now and then. But this was not that case. So as I was moving along the line, I had this lady walk up to the counter and say, "Let me get a foot-long BMT." And she said, "I want the sandwich heavily toasted." Now, when somebody says to heavily toast a sandwich like a BMT, I'm usually going to treat it as if it's like a steak sandwich or a chicken sandwich, because those get heavily toasted. So instead of like the usual 28 seconds that a BMT will get toasted, we'll toast it for 40. And if they want it extra toasty, sometimes we'll toast it for 60 seconds, but I rarely do that. You got to have some cojones to toast a sandwich for 60 seconds. But anyways, as the line is moving forward, I toast this woman's sandwich, and when I take it out of the toaster, she takes one look at it, and she goes, "Nuh-uh, this is not going to work." And I was like, what happened? And she was basically like, "You over toasted my sandwich." Now, you may be expecting this sandwich to be black or even like a dark brown, but this sandwich was literally like a light brown color, and it was by no means burnt. Extra toasty? Yes, it was definitely extra toasty. That's because she asked for it to be extra toasty. But you know, I complied after going a little back and forth with her, telling her that she asked for the sandwich extra toasty, but I didn't really want to have an argument that day. And so I go back and I make the same exact sandwich again, and I decided that I was going to just keep that sandwich for myself. And she goes to me, "Well, what are you going to do with that other sandwich?" And well, I basically said something along the lines of like, "I'm going to eat it on my lunch break." And I think that kind of rubbed her the wrong way, because I guess she thought that I thought that the sandwich was perfectly fine, which I did. And she basically said something along the lines of like, "Oh no, sweetheart, you gotta throw that sandwich out. Matter of fact, give it to me and I'll throw it out for you." And I'm like, wait a second. You just want a free sandwich? I have seen this bamboozle before, and I'm not falling for it. So I told her I'm good, and I rang her up and let her go on her way. Lads, if somebody comes into your store asking for an extra toasty sandwich, beware of the extra toasty sandwich scam. Milad, talk about the Walmart yodeling kid working at Subway. So you heard that right. The Walmart yodeling kid, aka Mason Ramsey, now works at Subway. And if you have no idea who I'm talking about, basically a few years ago, this kid went viral on the internet for literally yodeling in a Walmart. And it was one of the biggest memes in 2018. And I gotta admit, it was probably one of my favorite memes. And recently, over the past week, he's resurfaced on TikTok, dropping a new song. And the way he's been promoting this song is literally by working his job at Subway. Now, as much as I'd love to take credit for this marketing strategy that is purely genius, I could take zero credit. I actually never have even talked to the kid, and I have comments that ask me like, "Milad, do you know about this?" And I'm like, well, I know about this now, but it's pretty insane. So Mason Ramsey is basically in Subway promoting his song at the age of 15, and in a week he's gained a little over 800,000 followers on TikTok for sitting in Subway with his song in the background. Now, my honest opinion is that this is the single greatest Subway employee that we've ever seen in the whole history of Subway. I mean, could you ask for a better representative for the company? It's like such a full circle moment. If I'm being honest, I really expected him to start working at a Walmart. I mean, it only makes sense, right? But it seems as though his parents are forcing him to get a job at the age of 15, which is probably one of the smartest things I've ever heard of a parent to do. I mean, you really don't want somebody like this turning out like Cash Me Outside, how about that? Like that girl. Like, that is the prime example of internet meme gone wrong. Okay, wait, never mind. I just checked her Instagram and she has 16.5 million followers, so I literally know nothing about internet memes going wrong, I guess. Sorry, Cash Me Outside girl. I didn't mean to offend you. But anyway, anyways, this still could have been an internet meme gone wrong, and this seems to be the prime example of internet meme gone right. He's just living his normal life as a kid, still doing the thing he loves, which is clearly music, and somehow integrating it into his regular everyday life while living a normal life with his family. So major props to Mason Ramsey. I'm proud of you for working at Subway. And if somehow you're watching this video, I have one suggestion for you. If you make one TikTok yodeling in that Subway, I guarantee that TikTok goes insanely viral. Think about it, Mason. Think about it. Do you ever just get a customer that restores your faith in humanity? These are the best moments in my life, I gotta tell you. And this does not happen often at Subway, but when it does, oh my goodness, it feels so good. But before we get into that, make sure you're subscribed if you aren't subscribed already. It really helps out the channel, and it's completely free. So I recently just put out a video about how I got my tips stolen from me from somebody that didn't look like they were in the best condition. I completely let it slide. Well, after that happened, I was telling customers about how that happened, and I was like, isn't it crazy how this happens right here in our town? And a lot of them agreed with me. I told it to like 4 or 5 different customers, and they were all like, that is insane that happened here. I mean, in my old Subway, it was kind of in a rough area. Most of you guys already know that, obviously, but that would happen a lot more over there. But here, I did not expect that. That's legitimately like the last thing I would ever expect from this store. But alas, it happened. And I actually told one lady, and she felt awful. She was like, how could somebody in their right mind steal tips from you? And I was like, I don't know. You gotta ask them. And she was just so nice, and she kept complimenting me on my sandwich skills and how I was doing as a person. She's like, you're such a kind person. How could somebody ever in their right mind do this? And I'm like, ma'am, I don't think I'm a kind person. I just make sandwiches. That's the deal. But at the same time, it was just kind of like, somebody at least appreciates me. Felt so good in that moment. But anyways, I was ringing up her sandwich, and as she walked out, she was like, hold on a minute. I have something for you. And she walked down and completely disappeared, and I was like, all right, I won't see her again. And after like 15 minutes passing, she comes back into the store, and I'm like, oh my God, she's back. Well, she had told me that because she told me that story and she felt so bad, she gave me a $20 tip. Now, mind you, I don't even think a lot of waiters and waitresses, I love my waiters and waitresses before I say this, but I'm sorry, I used to have some experience in it. But they don't get a $20 tip usually, So this was like so shocking to me. I was like, ma'am, I can't take your money. Like the person stole like $3 from me. It wasn't a big deal, But she was like, no, your attitude and the way that you just carry yourself through your job, it makes me want to do something for you. And I was like, oh. But I was like, please just keep your money. I feel so bad. But she just wouldn't let me. And you already know I gave her a free cookie, but I had to give her a second free cookie just because of how positive and amazing she was. So this actually got me to thinking, is karma a real thing? I always believe that karma's a real thing, But I've talked to my friends before, and they're kind of like, I don't know if karma's real. But I am so convinced that karma's a real thing. Especially after this experience, I just had that completely stuck in my head. I was like, something bad happened to me, but at the most minute level. But then something tremendously better happened to me as a result. It's so weird because in life, stuff like that is just like, it always happens around you. You always see something so negative happen to you, and then months later, you look back and you realize maybe that was the best possible outcome that could have came from that thing. It's really hard sometimes, though, when you're in the moment and you don't understand why something's happening for you. But in the end, it just always, at least for me, seems like it works out. And I think a lot of it is putting perspective into things. You have to be grateful for what you already have. And that's another completely different episode. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, once again, please subscribe and like the video. It really helps the channel out. And you already know that I love you and I'll give you a free cookie. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And remember, eat fresh. Peace. These past 3 weeks, I've been traveling around and just kind of having fun with life. But it got me to thinking very deeply and profoundly, what are my roots? I mean, I've been doing all this traveling. I've been going around trying to do new stuff. And somewhere in the back of my mind, Subway is just always there. It's like this job that I've been through for the past 5.5 years. It seems like my home. So I would be in Miami, I would be in North Carolina, and even in Florida. And this is no shade to anybody that I was visiting. I mean, I had a blast everywhere I went. But I would be in these places just thinking in my own mind, what am I doing here? But these were basically just moments of relapse. I was just in my mind thinking, okay, I have to do this because of this, this, and this. When in reality, it was just an opportunity for me to run from what made me. So this got me to thinking so deeply, what are my roots? I do not even know or comprehend what I should be doing. I mean, all of this is so crazy to me. 1.8 million people on the internet watch me make sandwiches. Can we just take a second to process that? 1.8 million people on YouTube and 4.4 million people on TikTok watch me make sandwiches and just talk about my life. It's so mind-boggling to me. And so when I start to walk away from that and start to treat it as if, oh, it might be some game. Maybe I could go on a vacation. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could start living this life that wasn't truly meant for me. That's when things for myself become dangerous and depressing. I mean, my home is Subway. My home is literally, like, my literal home is right next to Subway. And these are just my roots. I mean, to go away from this would be to completely abandon what made me. And in a lot of circumstances, you outgrow your situation. You have to grow as a human being. studying and figure out what truly makes you happy. But through these experiences, I've learned Subway is what makes me happy. And it's so crazy to me. I've said it like 6 times already, but this is my root. What made me is making sandwiches at Subway and being nice to customers and telling stories from my experience. So to completely abandon that and go after some like mythical thing, like the clout, the girls, the money, like all of that stuff doesn't matter in the long term. What matters is your family and the people that were there for you when you were building yourself up. I mean, before all this YouTube stuff, I've talked about this in a video before, I was like completely shattered and broken. I had no idea what to do with my life. I was just another Subway kid. And then this platform and the Subway brand gave me a chance to just completely build myself from the ground up. And for me to just like walk away and like take vacations and like fly away, like that's just not right. That is forgetting my roots. So to my audience, I know the past few weeks have been a little strange. I mean, I've been posting a wide variety of content. A lot of you guys really liked it. But at the end of the day, my roots are at Subway. And I think I have the most fun when I'm just in the sandwich shop, just cranking sandwiches, talking to you guys, and just sharing my life. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm starting to get back onto my grind of daily posts. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're so close to 2 million subscribers. And remember, eat fresh. Now, this might not be a Subway menu item, and they might kill me for even mentioning this. You know, I'm sorry, Subway. You know our relationship by this point. Come on now. But this is one of the first things that I ever saw the Odd Ones Out make on his YouTube channel. If you don't know the Odd Ones Out, he made Subway videos and they were fire. But he talked about making something called Subway nachos. The way that he used to make it was literally just putting cheese on Doritos. But I took this idea and I'm like, I gotta take this one step further. And that I did. With the help of my brother, I made these buffalo chicken ranch Doritos nachos at Subway. Dude, I don't know how this isn't a menu item, I'm gonna be honest. It was so easy to make. It's definitely not expensive at all. And the result is just so delicious. You know, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm not gonna lie. After I got memed off the face of the planet on my how to make an Italian BMT video for having man, we're not even gonna say the word. I'm thinking I gotta hit the gym. You know, I used to be pretty lean, and now, you know, Subway kind of it got to me. But these nachos, dude, these are no joke. We started off by taking both red and blue Doritos, mixing them together, and then we put some onions, green peppers, jalapenos, buffalo chicken, of course, and then some cheddar and mozzarella cheese. We toasted it into a nice toaster oven, and then when we took it out, we drizzled it in some ranch sauce. Throw it into a pizza box, and one bite of these things, oh my god, it was so good. But you cannot put sauce on it if you're saving it for later. I mean, the Dorito gets a little soggy, so I guess that's kind of why they don't put it on the menu. But dude, right out of the oven, these things are bussin'. I gotta say, if you work at Subway, you gotta try making these. I was once making them actually, and a customer came in and they saw me making it, and they were like, is that something new on the menu? And I'm like, no, I'm just bored and kind of hungry. And they were like, how do I get this? Like, why is this not on the menu? And I was like, you know what? I can't make it for you. I was like, sir, take these Doritos home and just put cheese on them and melt them. You won't regret it. And when I posted to TikTok initially too, people were like, what? Oh, also, I heard in the UK they actually do have nachos, so shout out to the UK. I mean, they got the melts before us, they got the nachos before us, they got everything for us. It's crazy. But I could just imagine somebody in corporate looking at this video and being like, you know what? Now I kind of want some nachos. So if you're out there, put Milad nachos on the menu. Or just regular nachos. The people need these. Thank you guys for watching this video. Have a beautiful and blessed day. And remember, eat fresh. I think the most annoying thing that could possibly ever happen as a Subway worker is a parent coming in with their kid and forcing their kid to literally order off the menu when they're like 4 or 5 years old. Dude, nothing gets me like this, I swear. It's like a kid will want every single vegetable on the sandwich and they'll just go up to the counter and be like, can I get, bread, turkey? And I'm like, whoa. What type of bread would you like now, son? And then we have to go through all of the motions and they'll be like, can I get the Italian bread? And I'm like, oh my god, this kid's so cute, but like, why is his parent making him order this sandwich? I mean, this kid is about to get like 18 different things on it. If he's struggling this hard with the bread, I only know how hard he's gonna struggle with the rest of the sandwich. And then it's like, can I get turkey and cheese? And it's like, son, what kind of cheese would you like? And then they're like, what kind of cheese do you have? And I'll be like, we got, and by the way, this is the types of cheese we have at Subway, so take note. Provolone, cheddar, Swiss, American, pepper jack, mozzarella. And they're like, can you repeat them? And I'll be like, oh my god, I guess so, yeah. I'll be like, pepper jack, Swiss, mozzarella, cheddar, American, provolone. And they'll just be like, no cheese, and then I'll toast it, and like those. Dude, it's the worst when there's like multiple kids too. Because like sometimes I'll have like 10 different kids come in and I'm like, where are your parents? It's just such a struggle. But dude, listen, all the kids out there, you order pretty perfectly. I gotta say, I don't want to keep giving me your business. I'm sorry. I think it's just really bad when it's like a really, really young kid. I mean, like when like 8 or 10-year-olds come in, they're pretty good with ordering their sandwich. I mean, they usually know like exactly what they want rather than their parents who are saying they're like, so props. I think it's actually pretty hard to order a sandwich at Subway, I gotta say. I mean, like, I get confused with all the choices too. If I never knew like what Subway was, or I've been to stores that are similar in layout to Subway, and it literally takes me like 5 minutes to order because I'm like, wow, there are so many options. And it's just incredible to me. I mean, like, you go to a store, you have all of these things laid out right in front of you. Of course, a kid's gonna be mind blown and be like, there's so many choices. But at least Subway's a healthy option for the kids too, right? I mean, it obviously depends on what you get. You should be eating healthy, kids. Eat your fruits and veggies. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Let's see if this video can hit 35,000 likes. I would really appreciate it if we did. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everybody. And remember, eat fresh. Peace. So yesterday I had a customer and his family come all the way from Staten Island, New York. The young fella's name was Lewis, and he was just such a nice person, I gotta say. Shout out to you, Lewis, if you're out there listening to this right now. But the dad told me something that really struck a chord with me. He said that Lewis has been telling all of his friends, and he's basically advertising and marketing for me. And I was thinking to myself, this Lewis person, he must not be older than like 13 or 14. If you're older than that, I'm sorry, Lewis, I'm just assuming. But then it hit me. My audience is legitimately the greatest audience in existence. I mean, when you have people that love your videos and they're literally telling their friends about your videos, that makes you feel some type of way. Whether it be with the Mr. Beast Milad's cookies thing or getting the stage 3 pizza to be like this viral thing. I personally have to say thank you to my audience. I mean, you guys are what drive everything. I say it all the time, but I gotta just say it again and literally let this resonate with you. If it wasn't for you watching this video right now, I would legitimately be working at Subway earning like minimum wage. But you changed my life. The person watching this video, yeah, I know, yes, you beautiful human being. You have so much more power in this world than you think. And together with others, there's such incredible things that could just be built out, you know? We could do so much as a community. And I think that because we're so positive and we all have this obsession with just POV sandwiches, I don't know, I guess in life too, I think we're just such a tight-knit and amazing community. And when his dad told me that he literally tells his friends about me and has gotten so many people to watch my videos, there was just nothing that hit like that. Lewis, if you're out there, like, you deserve the biggest shout out, because the fact that you're telling other people about like this community and these videos, you're helping it actively grow, and you're making this thing into something so much bigger than any one of us can do. And if you're out there watching and you literally are just subscribed or you like the videos, you even just watch, like, seriously, thank you. You're legitimately the reason any of this is possible. Like, I'm gonna keep saying that until the day I die. My community made me, and we can continue to do such incredible things. I mean, the end goal is literally to just use this platform to promote positivity and help those in need around the world. I think we've done so much good for the fast food industry as well, you know? Like, we've put a real light on some things that nobody ever talks about within food. So for the 1,000th time this video, thank you, Lewis, and thank you to you watching. Thank you to everybody that just supports the journey. I'm gonna have more tight-knit community activities as well. I think we could do some really good things together. So let's see if we can get this video to 25,000 likes. It's a little high, but I know that this community can do it, and I know you guys are just some amazing people. So listen, have a beautiful, blessed day. Go do something positive in the world today, and remember, eat fresh. Peace! Wait, I forgot the most important bag of cookies. Wait.
Is this for me?
Do you want a cookie?
This is 10 cookies.
12 to 16.
Thank you.
Now you're probably wondering, Milad, where did you get 50,000 cookies from? Well, when duty calls, duty calls. When Mr. Beast Charity lets you donate 50,000 cookies, you donate that 50,000 cookies. And I gotta say, this was by far one of the hardest things and most rewarding things I have ever done in my entire life. This is one of those trips that I will literally remember for the rest of my life. The impact that the Mr. Beast Philanthropy team had on me, and the mere sight of seeing free cookies given away to people that need free cookies simply almost brought a tear to my eye. And now an epic cookie montage. Say hi.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, you can have. Yeah. I have 1.7 on there. I started 3 months ago. Really? Yeah. Thank you. these boxes. I mean, we had a lot more boxes before, and we kind of got through them all. We had 180 in total. Bob cookies. You want a bag of cookie dough? What? You want this? You can take that. Take that home. Cookie dough? You want a bag of cookie dough? Just take home? Alright, sure. I don't know if I'm going to put it in or not, but no, you can have it. You can 100% have it. Because we have so much. One less bag. You can take a bag of cookie dough home if you want. Okay. Yeah, this is yours. No! Boys, I got a gift. You got a bag of cookie dough. Take a bag of cookie dough home. Take a bag of cookie dough home.
Do it.
For your kids? Your kids. I got one for you too. Give me a second. It's great. I don't know if I should give it to your kids. I'll give it to the kids. Yo, I got a bag of cookie dough for you to take home. Don't eat it all at once. You get one. Take it home with you. You want a bag of cookie dough? I'm gonna get you a bag of cookie dough. You're taking one. Take it.
Booties, it's already too big.
We all need a bigger booty. Enjoy. Don't eat them all at once. Don't eat them all at once. This is for you, sir. Thank you. Now here's something that kind of caught me off guard. Also at this event, besides cookies, there was a whole ton of yams. Like there was like tons upon tons of those things, and we had to bag them all up.
Come on, Home Depot. I got you, bro. Never stop and oh, that's low. Bada boom, we in here. Bam.
And now it was finally time to shine. It was the moment we've all been waiting for, giving out our free cookies. Enjoy. The food drive. We got cookies. We got everything. You gotta give some more cookies. The best cookies ever made. There you go. You heard it here first. Dude, this Mr. Beast food drive has been something incredible, man. Look at all the yams we got. Look at just everything that we're doing, guys. Mr. Beast, he's doing it right, man. He's doing it right. I gotta say that. What an incredible guy.
Send it, bro.
Excuse me. Do you like cookies? I got these cookies, but wait, I got a lot more cookies for you. We got these cookies, but wait, we have a lot more cookies for you. One more. More cookies.
Wait, do you have
More cookies. More cookies. More cookies. More cookies. More.
none left behind?
I hope your kids enjoy it, all right? God bless you. Take care. These are for you. Good work, gentlemen. Do you like cookies? I got a whole box of cookies for you. You got a trunk? I need the trunk for you. It's not gonna fit over there. You just dump them in. Amazing. Enjoy your cookies, ma'am. Thank you. Cookies. Wait, I forgot the one thing. Do you want a cookie?
This is 10 cookies.
12 to 16.
Thank you.
Do want a sample and just make sure that we're giving them fresh cookies.
Me and Darren are doing
Not because I'm being greedy. It's quality control.
I actually am kind of curious. How are they holding up?
We're doing a weight loss challenge, me and Darren.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard.
I'll join in with you guys.
He said that if you don't hit your weight loss goal, it's $10,000 to a charity.
That is.
But that's not a yam. This isn't supposed to be here. There's an imposter among us.
Let's keep that one aside.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
You keep it.
Your
We should
banana,
paint
I'll
this
take-
yellow and give it to somebody and make them think it's a banana.
Hopefully they wouldn't eat a banana with the peel, but that
I'm
would
telling you, it's not that bad. It has extra fiber, dude.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
These kids are bananas, bro. So we just finished up the shoot, the whole philanthropy. This was, oh my God. I just spilled a ton of Coca-Cola. This was crazy. I mean, like, we got some sweet potatoes left. We ran out of all the cookies, but You know, this was amazing. Thank you, Mr. Beast, for having us. And yeah, success. Darren.
You're amazing, dude. I'm sorry to see you go, man. I've had an amazing time.
I'm sorry to go, Darren. I love you.
I love you too, man.
We'll be back.
You come back.
We'll come back. You heard it here first. This is so sad. Ladies and gentlefish, we did it. We gave Mr. Beast his free cookie, and it's literally all because of you guys. About 2 months ago, I put out a video asking Mr. Beast to let me donate to his charity, and I never would have expected this whole thing to end in me donating 50,000 cookies and getting to spend a day with him. Honestly, one of the coolest people I've ever met, such a great guy, and very kind-hearted. I mean, it takes so much to build out an entire charity when you're already so successful. That just goes to show, like, exactly what they're up to over there, you know? So basically, with the help of my audience, we were able to get Mr. Beast, the Beast Philanthropy Charity's attention in order to let us donate some cookies. And I flew down to North Carolina with 2 of my good friends, Joe and RJ. A special shout out to them for coming. I mean, they had nothing to gain from this. They just wanted to do charity work alongside me. And we had such a fun time doing all this. I mean, besides literally just making 50,000 cookies, we were able to hang out with some really cool people, get some really cool food in North Carolina. And there was just so much fun to be had. I mean, there were such nice people, and we were just surrounded with such good and positive vibes. And not to mention that we were able to do all of this for charity. I mean, that's like the most incredible thing to me. This all came to fruition because of charity. By doing a good deed, we were able to have so much fun and just make an awesome video. And I think a lot of creators should aspire to follow this exact format of content. I think creating in order to give back to those in need is one of the greatest things that you could ever do. And it is my true belief, along with a lot of people that I've spoken to, that every single thing that you do good in this world comes back to you in one form or another. It's just insane to me how I literally started on TikTok back in September of 2020, and I started on YouTube about 3.5-4 months ago in March, and it's like we just collabed with Mr. Beast. I mean, like, that's crazy to me. We were able to make 50,000 cookies. Like, that's such an insane number to me. That's enough cookies to fill up Madison Square Garden almost twice. I love how I just measured the amount of cookies in a stadium's attendance. But yeah, here you can see me making one mega cookie. We were gonna use this for Mr. Beast Philanthropy thumbnail. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Beast Philanthropy, you should go subscribe to them right now. They're essentially a charity that's using their platform to just give back to everybody that needs it. It's just such an incredible concept, and I think that they're going to do such incredible things in the future too. Every single person from that charity that I met was one of the most kind-hearted people I've ever met. And a special shout out to Darren. Darren, if you're watching this right now, I love you so much. He was the one that was able to orchestrate all this, and he took so much of the load off of us and was able to help us with making these cookies so much. But honestly, one of the best experiences I think I've ever had in my life. Thank you for having us, Jimmy. Thank you for allowing us to use this platform for good. And to my audience, go do something nice in the world today, because you never know, you can inspire somebody else to do something nice, and you could slowly but surely make the world a better place. I love you guys. Thank you for all of this. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and remember, eat fresh. Welcome back to another installment of Can You Actually Believe This Happens in Real Life? On today's episode, we're going to be talking about how people forget their wallets when that's literally the only thing that you need to bring to a fast food place. Now, don't get me wrong. We all make mistakes. We all forget things. Listen, that's a part of life. Being human is to make mistakes. But sometimes some mistakes are just very easily avoidable. One of those mistakes, in my opinion, is bringing your wallet to a Subway. Now, I have forgotten my wallet before, and for that exact reason, I have something called Apple Pay on my phone. But only a few days ago, I had a customer walk into the store, order a couple of sandwiches, and then tell me at checkout that they forgot their wallet. They then needed to proceed, drive home, come back, and basically waste like a half hour out of their day just to go grab their wallet. And listen, we've all been there. To that fellow, you did good. You came back. You did everything that you could. But to the others, now there's a small fraction of people that just say they forget their wallet and then walk out. And there's an even smaller fraction of people that attempt to walk out with the food in their hands by saying that they forgot their wallet. We live in 2021. You could pay cash, you could pay credit, you could pay debit, you could pay Apple Pay. Heck, if you even want, I'll literally let you sweep the floors for your sandwich. But there's nothing like a customer ordering like 5 sandwiches and at checkout saying, oh, I forgot my wallet, and never coming back. Now, a big order like 5 sandwiches, that's only ever happened to me once. Thank goodness it's only happened once, because I think I'd lose my mind if it happened multiple times. But essentially, the customer came in and ordered like 5 different sandwiches. And of course, they were like the most complicated sandwiches ever. None of them were the same. They all had like all the vegetables on them. And when I went to ring him up, he said, oh, oh shoot, I forgot my wallet. He turned around and started to walk out. And in that moment, I thought in my head, there's just zero chance that this person comes back, right? I mean, I don't think I did anything wrong with the sandwiches. I don't think anything could have possibly went wrong. But sometimes things just happen. And in this instance, he walked out and never came back. I think it's even funnier when somebody says they forgot their wallet. Meanwhile, they're holding their wallet in their hand. This happened to me a handful of times. I literally walked out to the store and they realize and walk back in and be like, wait, I had my wallet this whole time. But to the type of person that attempts to walk out of Subway with their wallet in their hand and try to take the food along with them, now you are an unforgivable type of human being. Listen, once again, we all forget our wallet at times. We all forget the one thing that we need in order to make a purchase. But sometimes, you know, sometimes in your head, you think to yourself, did this person really forget their wallet? Or are they just never going to come back to the Subway and I'm left with this sandwich? Speaking of which, this sometimes happens with online orders too, which doesn't make sense. Somebody will place an order online and try to pick up a sandwich and it's already paid for and everything and they'll just never show up to pick up the order. This has literally happened with like $30 or $40 orders and it doesn't make sense because they still get charged. You know, I once had a woman that came in and didn't order much. I think she just got like a 6-inch turkey and chips and a drink and she had just completely lost her wallet. I don't even think she was from town. She literally walked in and said at the end, oh my goodness, I don't know where my wallet went. So in that moment, I had a choice. I could either be a good Samaritan and say, you know what, this is on me, or I could have told the lady to kick rocks. And you already know I had to give her the meal for free. Listen, that's probably never gonna happen again. But in that moment, I was feeling generous. So this is just your daily friendly reminder from your local Subway man. Don't forget your wallet when you need to go buy something. Like this video and subscribe to the channel and I'll give you a free cookie. And have a beautiful and blessed day. Peace! Mildew, what is one thing working at Subway for 6 years has taught you? In case you didn't know, a few days ago marked my 6-year anniversary working at Subway, and I heard that if you subscribe, you'll see the next 6. So please subscribe. But there's a lot of lessons that I've learned throughout this journey at Subway, and I know there's automatically going to be some percentage of the audience that's like, what could you learn working at Subway? I mean, it's like a fast food job. It's Subway. But there are some life lessons that I have learned along the way. I think that no matter what your job is or what you're doing in this world, you have a purpose, and you can learn a lot from whatever you're doing right now. I mean, you don't have to be like a level 10 executive at some like Fortune 500 company to get lessons out of your job. You could literally be somebody working at a Subway getting the most like deep, ambiguous life lessons that you could imagine. So I have a few of them that I'd love to share with you guys. I think the number one lesson that I've learned in my time at Subway is that you have to cater to your customer. And by that, I don't mean letting a customer step all over you. I mean, there's definitely boundaries with that kind of stuff. But having a conversation with somebody, especially if they're walking through the door and you've never met them before, is a really helpful thing. Especially in the business world, it's as if you're like making somebody feel comfortable in your shop, and you learn so much by just talking to people as well. Like, that's the number one reason why I recommend a job at Subway or some place with a lot of communication. People that come into your store teach you so much, and you don't even realize until like days, weeks, even months later the learnings that you get. Now, another thing that I've learned is that you need to always be on time with this kind of stuff. I'm in a blessed enough position where my parents own the Subway, so it's like if I'm late 1 or 2 times to a shift, it's not that big of a deal. And I mean, they're super nice about it. Like, if somebody's late, like usually nobody really cares. But if somebody has a boss that's a stickler for time management is such an important thing that you have to be on top of. There have been so many times where I've taken a nap or like I've just not been in the mood to go to work, so I delayed it, and I would show up like a minute or 2 late, and I'm like, dang, like I feel bad. I made my coworker wait this minute or 2 just because I was being lazy. Like, this isn't fair. So I cut that out of my routine, and I think that's something that pretty early on, if you're working at any job, especially fast food, you got to cut out pretty early. And my third and final tip, especially regarding Subway, and I'm pretty bad with this, like I'm being pretty vulnerable right now, you have to watch how much of the food you consume. Like, you can't fall into the trap of eating Subway every day or having like a cookie every day, because that quickly adds up. When you're working a fast food job, you have this food around you, and oftentimes it looks pretty amazing. I mean, it really depends on what store you're working at, if I'm being honest, but like at Subway, to me, it always looks really good. And there's a really easy trap to fall into where it's like, I'll just eat Subway every single day, and then I'm like, huh, I had a cookie yesterday, so I'll have another cookie today, or I drink a lot of soda. Like, these are things that you have to be very wary of, especially if you're working in a fast food job. These calories quickly add up, and over the past few months, they have not been the best strategy of eating for me. But I'm sorry to cut back, and I think it's important that you're able to recognize when you're eating too much and when you're not eating enough. But the food at Subway and most fast food restaurants is really nice to have. It's an amenity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like and comment down below what your favorite food is, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. I love you guys. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Peace. My Subway restaurant's in a small town and somehow has 2,868 Google reviews, but it has 4.9 stars, so let's read some of these ridiculous reviews. This one's from Burnt Toast 54. There was a weird guy with a phone, but it was amazing. I also got a free cookie, thanks. Listen, Burnt Toast, I don't know who you think you are, but I'll give you another free cookie, alright? This one comes from Yusuf Safi. I've been to a ton of Subways over the years, but this one is the best ever. That's a bold statement, but thank you. I work nearby, so I visit often for a cheap bite to eat. The food is always fresh and tasty. The people working there are always friendly, welcoming, and accommodating. I highly recommend this Subway. Oh, there you go. There's your wholesome review for the day. These aren't bad enough. I gotta get to the 1-star reviews. Where are the 1-star reviews at? Not cool. Abdul said, I called the place to order for a birthday party and they didn't answer at all. In case you don't know, we completely turned off our phones at our Subway. There was a point where we were getting 400 calls a day, and every single time I answered the phone, somebody would scream in my ear, and we simply had enough. So if you need an online order, any platter, you just gotta order online. No, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Blame the internet, not me. This person said, I came all the way from Italy for a free cookie, but I didn't get a free cookie. I'm sorry, Anonymous1. Please come back so I can give you a free cookie. All right, these 1-star reviews are kind of trash too. You know what we have to go to? The newest. Let's see what people have said in the past few days. Okay, this is from a random cat. I could already tell this will be good. I was walking around and I came face to face with Godzilla. I ran towards safety and found a local Subway. The guy working there had a weird thing on his neck. Oh my god, that is hurtful. A weird thing on my neck? It's a birthmark. By the way, when I was a little kid, somebody thought that the birthmark on my neck was ice cream dripping down my neck. To this day, I remember that lady. You'll always be in my mind because of that moment.
You've scarred me for life.
Anyways, and he gave me a foot-long sub to hit Godzilla. I completely forgot we were talking about Godzilla. I hit Godzilla, and thanks to the power of the sub, I ended up making Godzilla into a cute monkey. Then I thanked the Subway worker, and he gave me an iPhone 120 and spat on my shoes. Why would I have spat on your shoes? I was going about my day eating pickles and getting chased by an older gentleman with a Remington 870 in his hand and rocket-powered rollerblades on his feet. But then I came across the Subway and took a loan of 12 cookies from a handsome and agreeable young man. Oh, handsome and agreeable, huh? Why, thank you. Okay, wait, there's no commas, no periods. He like capitalized this letter without even like there being a period. Like, he even spelled which wrong. It's like W-I-C, like what? Which I used to power up to my ultimate form, Pickle Cookie Man, and fought off my arch nemesis, the Rollerblade Killer. And on that note, please subscribe for a free cookie. Thank you very much. Just like any person with a little internet clout, today I'm gonna be Googling myself. Oh boy, what does the world come to? Does Milad die in Tehran? I don't even know what that means. Next, does Milad Mirg have a brother? Yes, I do. I have multiple, actually. Where does Milad Mirg work? That's a good question. I mean, like, I work at Subway. I don't even know what to say. What does Milad mean? No, I'm actually curious of this one, so let's see what this says. Son of the sun. Milad is an Iranian name of Persian origin that means son of the sun. Would you look at that? The sun is my father. Wait, how does that make sense? Okay, next we're gonna type in, how does Milad Mirg film? Well, I actually have this chest harness doohickey that I put on my chest to film sandwiches. It's really cool because it lets me get the first person point of view with like my arms in front. Oh, but this says, how much does Milad Mirg make? I'm really interested to see what Google says about how much I make. Okay, this says $450,000. His main income source is YouTube ad revenue. I'm not gonna say whether or not this number is accurate because I don't really want the IRS coming after me or anything, but it is true that YouTube ad revenue is my main source of income right now. There's a wiki about me, wikiofcelebs.com. What the heck? Now I'm kind of curious to see what this says. It's funny how Google takes you down this rabbit hole, huh? So let's see if they got any of the information right about me. I was born in an American family. Wrong. Iranian family. They got my birthday right. In Little Falls, New Jersey. Wrong. His full name is Milad. Wrong. And his zodiac sign is not known. Well, my zodiac sign is a Libra, so now you know. How is it not known if they know what my birthday is? I finished his schooling at a private school in his hometown? Not true. I did not go to private school. I was a public school boy, and I got abused in public school. He attended New Jersey Institute of Technology, where he pursued a bachelor's degree in computer science. That is known. Famous for Subway videos. I love that. Hobbies, traveling. I love that. I mean, like, my audience roasts me when I travel. His height is 5 feet 8 inches and weighs around 65 kilograms. I am not 5'8". I am at least 5'11". My doctor likes to tell me I'm 6 foot. And it says my shoe size is a 7. First off, how would they even know my shoe size? And this is a wrong. If anybody wants to send me shoes, it's a size 10. And yeah, basically the rest of this looks like hoopla. It looks pretty outdated too. But I guess that's Google for you. Subscribe and I'll give you a free cookie.